All right, everyone, thanks for joining us today. I'm Dan Chin with Dan Chin Homes and Adventure Realty Group, and I have Shaun O'Hearn with me here. He's co-owner of the McFarland House Cafe. What we're doing is we're highlighting some of the business owners in McFarland, Wisconsin that recently won Best of McFarland. That's where our home office is for our team. So we thought it would be great to highlight some of the great people that make McFarland what it is.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Anytime.
So tell me, what is your connection to McFarland?
So I was born and raised in McFarland. My parents still own a home about 6 blocks up the road. I used to come into this building when I was a kid and buy my mom Mother's Day gifts and flowers and things like that. Back when it was a flower shop.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
So this house has been a lot of things over the years, but that's how I remember it. So, yep, born and raised, all of 35 years now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me, what do you love most about McFarland? Obviously, you've been here a long time. You chose to stay here,
right? So, I mean, for me, it's really it's the people. It's my family that's still in the area. It's the small town. We're 2 miles outside of Madison, but it doesn't feel like we're 2 miles outside of Madison.
Right.
It feels like we're in this fun little haven outside of the big city, and I call Madison a big city, but
So tell me, how long have you been in business here at the cafe?
So Jess and I, my wife, bought the cafe back in 2015. I think it was honestly the day that school started. So it was
on the first day of school.
Yeah, it was.
Isn't that like one of your busiest days?
It was the first day of school. In hindsight, maybe not the best option for closing on a business. However, we figured a brisk transition with all of our lives was probably the best. So yeah, 2015, first day of school.
Awesome. That's really cool. Especially in a community that's so driven by the school district.
Oh, absolutely. And with the primary school, I mean, we're a block, so.
Right. So what did inspire you to run the McFarland House Cafe?
So I'd done a lot of sales gigs, jobs, but I'd always kept a finger on the food service industry. I'd always worked either a part-time job or a night bartending or, a little, what do I want to call it? Not bootlegging, moonlighting.
Sure,
a little moonlighting for some friends that owned restaurants over the years. And I felt like that was what I wanted to do was the restaurant world. Although in my mind, smaller is probably better for me and my family. And when this opportunity came up, it was something we just couldn't take a pass on. Jess was at home with the kids, helping them. We've got 4 at home, so that was a full-time job for her. And then I was working sales at the time, but I was on the road all over the place. And when the business came for sale, I said, Jess, we gotta make a play on this, and ultimately it worked out in our favor.
Right. And so for those who are new to McFarland and might not know it, this building has always been owned by another individual, and then the shop, the flower shop, other businesses that were here, the cafe, were all renting the space, and you purchased the actual book of business from them in a sense, right?
Yep.
And you were renting it first.
Correct.
But then we helped you buy the building, right?
Yeah, that was, it came a little sooner in our timeline of, the business plan that we had laid out for the next 3, 5, 10, and beyond. Buying the building was always a goal of ours. We never thought we would have been able to do it in 3 years, and with your team's help, it was a very smooth process.
That's awesome. And so now you're in the business of property management as well, since there's a lot of people don't realize that there's apartments here.
So just sitting above where we are, or just on the floor above us, there are 2 apartments here on the second floor. There's also a single family apartment on the property that most people don't associate with being part of the property. They kind of think it's its own standalone place, which it is, but it also sits on the parcel that we're on. And that is just a 3-bedroom single family apartment. So We've got some tenants here, we've got the cafe here, we've got a big garden that we're trying to rebuild in the back. It's a nice little slice of McFarland, if you could kind of microcosm it down to that.
So now I know we love eating here. Our office is right across the street.
Yep.
The food is amazing.
Thank
Your
you.
breakfast is the best, and not just in McFarland. I mean, surrounding
I
area,
appreciate
awesome.
that.
I know a lot of the food you use is locally sourced,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So where does most of it come from?
So we really try to work with as many different individuals as we can, because without them, you're buying from a big box store essentially. So some of our stuff comes out of Madison, for example, Batch Bakery. Batch House Bakery is where we get almost all of our baked goods. We do some of the smaller bars and cakes and scones and things like that in-house. But like our breads and our ciabattas and things like that, like I don't have the space to manufacture that much. So Batch has been a great partner of ours.
Okay, Batch.
Yep, and so they do fantastic stuff. We get our eggs out of Lake Mills, not just this giant box of eggs that have been sitting on a shelf for 200 days. These are fresh, cage-free eggs. Let's see what else. We get our cheese from all over different parts of Wisconsin. I mean, because we're not going to buy California cheese. That's not going to happen. We get our smoked trout out of Palmyra, Wisconsin.
My favorite.
I know that's a personal favorite of yours. Rushing Waters, they do an amazing job with the smoked fish. And just simple things like, we use our coffee from JBC Roasters, from Ancora, from Just Coffee. We use milk from Sassy Cow, because these are the people that in turn support us. They call me for catering. Mm-hmm. I support them. It's a nice evolution of how food should be.
Absolutely. How food should be. I love that.
Right.
And it's pretty amazing you're able to do that and still keep your prices so affordable.
Well, yeah. And for us, buying the cafe, I never thought I was going to become independently wealthy owning 1,000 square feet of coffee shop. For me, it was all about integrating into the community, having a place my kids could call home outside of, wherever we lived. And then, really to give back to the place that raised me.
So what is your favorite menu item?
Well, like yourself, I'm a little drawn to the smoked trout. So we do what's called our TBT sandwich, which
Yes.
is trout, bacon, and tomato, right? It also is TBT for our friends, Joe and Brittany, who own Total Body Training here in
Yes.
McFarland.
Yep, we're going to be doing a video with them as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So, it used to have a different name, and we modified it to throw a little love their way. It's one of Joe's favorite things. He likes to double up the bacon on it because he's
Nice.
like the protein.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's like the protein hound. Like, hey, just keep layering that protein on there. So it's smoked trout. We make almost like you'd have a tuna salad, right?
Okay.
And so we do it with smoked trout, and we add some different seasonings and things like that. We serve it on a batch bun. We get our bacon locally sourced too, so it's like it's the best of everything.
So that said, what is actually your most popular item on the menu?
So it is so hard to pick out a most popular. It changes by season. It changes by what we're offering, because we do change our menu out. But I think people really gravitate towards, as simple as it is, it's good home cooked food. Good home cooked food is our meatloaf sandwich, right?
Right.
So we have the Edie Locks as a throwback to the library next to us, and the man that owns McFarland State Bank. It's his favorite dish, so we kind of named it after him. But it's a meatloaf sandwich, so it's Locks Loafer. We throw a big old piece of aged cheddar over the top. We grill it off, lettuce, tomato, onion, and then we actually do this. It sounds kind of weird, but it's an espresso infused aioli. It's got a hint of barbecue sauce to it, so this weird like coffee, just hint of at the end, but you know, you could throw bacon and jalapenos, or we did one with mushroom and Swiss on it the other week. That was fantastic. That by far over the history of this cafe has been kind of the staple.
So is there anything else you want people to know about the McFarland House Cafe?
You know, at the end of the day, it's a family. It's me and my kids and my wife that, you know, we're here. My kids are running around here all the time, so excuse them if you trip over them or they leave their toys on the floor. But at the end of the day, you know, it's just us trying to entertain and serve good food and really just enjoy the people that we're around that come to see us. You know, that's why I got into this business, was for people to come to a place and not have to worry about the headache of doing all the food at their house. Like, come to my house and let me cook for you, and you just sit back and enjoy. Like, bring your friends, bring your coworkers, bring your business clients. Like, let me handle the rest. So that's really what we're here for, and I hope you stop by at some point.
That's awesome.
So,
thank you so much.
yeah,
And I know,
absolutely.
you know, for people outside of town, a lot of people think of all the strip malls on 51 as being downtown McFarland.
Yep.
But for the people who live here, this building is somewhat of an icon. And this
Oh,
is where,
yeah, absolutely.
you know, this is what I think of as downtown McFarland.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know our family is so grateful that you guys took over the business when the former owners moved to another state and kept it going, because this is really what downtown McFarland's all about. So.
Well, yeah, and it is. It's that small town, like, you know, you come in here, you might be in here one day, I'm always in here. You might have the village president or the superintendent or former principals or, you know, there's always somebody that's got the skinny on whatever's happening here in town. Yeah. And you just ask
It's kind of
around.
like our Cheers, right?
Yeah,
it really is. And
you just know what's going on. You stop down here. If I don't know, I know somebody that knows, and you come down the next day, and I'll have the answer for you. So.
Yeah, I see the same people coming in every day, and you know they have coffee at work or wherever they're going.
Yeah, but they
come
like
here,
to. Yep.
They connect with people before they start their work day. They get a great cup of coffee, and it's just a great way to start the day out.
Absolutely.
So, thank you so much
I
for
appreciate
sitting
it.
down with me. I really appreciate it.
Anytime,
and for all
man.
you and your family do here at the cafe and for McFarland in general.
We
You guys
try.
are
Well, and
pretty amazing.
And again, thanks for all your help with the purchase and everything.
Absolutely, it's our
over
pleasure.
time too. So.